What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 110 of the Monday Night Wars Save. I am Chad Talks, and joining me, as always, is the great, the powerful, the man with a plan, the Brian Kendrick to my Zach Gallagher, Jmack Gaming.
What? Are they even together?
Did you watch 205 Live, brother?
That was a dumb question.
Well, then you would know.
Did anyone watch that 205 Live, brother?
I did. That's how I know that reference, brother.
Let's run the show, Chad.
Let's run the show.
Let's not make me feel... Okay, let's just run it. Fuck it.
Alright. So, in a pre-show match, that decent wrestling but little heat, the New Bloods defeated Disco Inferno and Mike Awesome when Fit Finley defeated Mike Awesome with a tombstone pile driver.
Yeah? Yeah, Fit Finley?
And Disco Inferno sustained a retracted index finger.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, indeed.
Fucking... Alright, that was a decent match.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that was really a decent little match. Mike Awesome wasn't even the worst worker. Disco was. And an exceptional pre-show match. Goldberg defeats DDP in 10:03 with a spear.
Right where this match belongs.
Right on the pre-show.
The pre-show. Let me make this.
DDP's got no storylines going right now, but don't you worry. He'll get something eventually.
When it comes to Monday Night Raw, spoilers.
Yeah, right. Okay. We start the show off with a match. Ahmed defeats Tommy Dreamer with a spine buster and makes defense number 2 of his hardcore title.
Chad, what was the... Never mind. We're not going to talk about the original plan here.
And then afterwards, he's cutting a promo. He says, "Ric Flair, get your ass out here." So Ric Flair comes on the ring and he says, "You know what, Rick? The challenge was made last week. Booker T taking on Ric Flair. However, Rick, Booker T isn't here for a while. He had to go take care of some personal issues." And then Ric Flair's like, "He had to go to rehab because he's a drug addict." And Ahmed's like, "You know what, Rick? Where do you get off throwing a man's dirty laundry for these stupid people at the Pepsi Center to even to know? They don't deserve to know what Booker T is doing. However, I'll tell you what, Rick. All right? Now I know that I'm booked at the pay-per-view already in the Flock Nation match. However, I'm not booked to compete next week. So how about we move that pay-per-view match to next week? Ahmed versus Ric Flair." And before you answer, I just want to let you know I already talked to Bischoff and it's already official, so it doesn't matter what you say. And Rick, I want to let you know also that this match is going to be for your employment in WCW.
Ooh.
You lose this match, Rick, and you are no longer a wrestler for WCW. Now, Rick, you've been a thorn in my side ever since I came to WCW, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of you, just like I'm sick of Raven, and I'm sick of Benoit, and I'm sick of the Flock. And I'm sick of all you dumb idiot fans who think that these men are worth cheering. The nation is worth cheering. And next week, when I retire Ric Flair, I'll just add that to my already impressive list of accomplishments that I've had in my short time in WCW. Ric Flair says, "You think you can retire the Nature Boy? Woo! Ahmed, you are on!" So next week, Ahmed Ric Flair.
Nice.
What a good old time.
Ahmed leaves WWF and gets to fight Ric Flair. Good for him.
He's having a good run.
Except for when he got hurt this first match.
So we go backstage and Bischoff looks at Bret Hart and says, "Yeah, we're looking pretty good right now, Bret. I've got one of the best wrestlers on the roster fighting for my right to run Nitro. And once we get Zbyszko out of here and he's running the B show, Thunder, I can start running things the way I want. And you know what else we did, Brett? Now after next week, we don't even have Ric Flair to worry about. Now all we got to do is get the world title off of Randy Savage, or keep the world title away from Randy Savage. Let Sting keep it, and we're looking good. We're looking good." And Brett says, "Yeah, Bischoff, we're looking really good, But just remember what's in this for me. All right, once Sting beats Randy, I want my shot at the world title." And he's like, "Brett, would I ever screw anybody over? I'm a man of my words. I'm fucking Bischoff.
You're fucking Bischoff.
I'm honest. I'm like the Abraham Lincoln of professional wrestling, Brett. So don't worry. You're gonna get your title match, as long as I get to run Nitro. But tonight, you're in the main event. You're in a 6-man tag. You're gonna team with Sting and Stevie Ray to take on the man who won't have a job next week, Randy Savage, or Ric Flair, along with Randy Savage and Scott Hall. Sorry, I'm tired too, brother. Brett's like, I can't wait to tap out Scott Hall. He's like, oh, I'm sure you're really excited. And that's the end of that segment. Forgot who was in the main event. All right, so Rey Mysterio and Ultimo Dragon are facing off at World War III to decide the number one contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. But tonight they're going to team up. And about that good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Ultimo Dragon and Rey Mysterio defeat Juventud and Alex Wright in 821 when Ultimo defeated Juventud by pinfall. Wow, they have excellent chemistry. Wow. That might be a team in the future. That's awesome. So after the match, Rey Mysterio invented a new catchphrase.
Did he?
Yeah.
What the fuck did he say?
I don't. Oh, it says it right down below. Do you see it?
Yeah.
He said, "Booyaka, booyaka."
Why are you saying it like that?
Booyaka, booyaka. He says, "Ultimo, man, teaming up with you tonight was a real honor. It was a real treat. I just want to, show you a sign of respect." And he puts his hand out and says,
"Booyaka, booyaka."
Booyaka, booyaka. Shake my hand. And Ultimo looks at him. He looks at Rey Mysterio, and he shakes Rey Mysterio's hand back. A shine of respect for these two luchadors.
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them.
Booyaka, booyaka.
Booyaka, booyaka. So we're backstage. Rand and the Flock are joined with their buddy Ric Flair. Raven says, "Rick, are you sure you want to do this? If you lose, you're no longer a wrestler here." And Ric Flair's like, "Raven, I am Ric goddamn Flair. I am the best wrestler in the world. I main event every show, and I take home all the women. Woo! And you know, and you know, and you know, and you know, and everybody in this arena knows that when the Nature Boy Ric Flair puts his mind to something, there is nobody who can beat him. So next week, I am going to walk down that ramp, I'm going to get in that ring, and I'm going to make Ahmed Johnson tap out in the middle of the ring and prove why I am the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Woo!"
Woo!
Woo! That's a promo.
No.
And about that, subpar wrestling and Little Heat Devon defeats Jeff Hardy with a Dudley Death Drop.
Man, the Dudleys really haven't clicked here so far.
Oh man,
They haven't really had. I don't know.
Well, I'm hoping that their match, a couple matches will help raise their match chemistry together. Who knows? Hopefully, because I'm really banking on these two teams for my future teams. And in a decent match, champion versus champion, Yuji Nagata defeats versus Dean Malenko. And in a decent match, Yuji Nagata defeated Dean Malenko in 10:22 by disqualification. Because right in the middle of the match, Eddie Guerrero came out and just hit Yuji Nagata in the back with a chair. And then starts beating down Yuji Nagata, and then he cuts a promo. And he says, "Yuji Nagata!" And he starts swearing at him in Spanish. And then says, "I am going to beat you at World War III, and I'm going to take back what's mine, the Global Championship, because I am the greatest wrestler in all of the world. Not WCW, not Japan, not Mexico, all over the world, and that championship proves it. Yuji, it was a fluke when you had it, and I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to show once again why I am the man everywhere I go." And then he frog splashes Yuji Nagata. His gimmick's getting stale. We need to get Eddie Guerrero a new gimmick.
All right, write that down. We can do that right after.
All right, I'll write it down. All right.
Did I not?
Next
I
match.
thought I clicked it. Oh, it was the battle.
Oh no! That's okay. So basically, what happened, what you guys missed, was they had a. It was announced that they were going to have a 20-man battle royal to kind of give a sneak peek of the upcoming World War III match. And they had Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash said that it was the 20 best WCW stars. It consisted of the likes of Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Kurt
Rocky.
Hennig, Rocky, Lenny Poffo,
Rick
Martel, Jim Duggan.
All the top stars.
All the top stars. It was basically those two and a bunch of jobbers. So they won, and the winner of that match got to have a very special advantage in the World War III match. And so, Hulk Hogan. So basically what happens is I had it booked to where Hulk Hogan wins and Kevin Nash is the runner-up. But what happens really is Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash, let's just manhandle everybody, throw them over the ring. A few people give them some trouble, but they throw them over. And then when it's just them two in the ring, they look at each other and they face off, and then they laugh and they both just jump out of the ring. So they tie. And then after the match, Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash get on the microphone, and Hogan says, "Well, brother, it looks like there's only one thing to do. It looks like you gotta give the special advantage of World War III to both me and my best friend, Kevin Nash." And Kevin says, "Yeah, 'cause Hulkster, there's just no question who deserves this advantage, just like there's no question about who is going to win World War III and who's going to main event Starrcade." And Hogan and Kevin Nash say both at the same time, "I am." And they both look at each other, and then they ignore it. And Hulk Hogan's like, "So, brother, why don't whoever's in charge of giving out this advantage, why don't you come out and tell us what it is?" And then Scott Steiner's music comes out, and Hogan and Nash look at each other really confused, and Scott Steiner says, "I just want to say that nobody gives a rat's ass about this battle royal, and nobody gives a rat's ass about you two right now. What people care about is Steiner shoots. Now, 2 weeks ago, I said I wanted a match, and I didn't get the match. I wasn't even booked. I was catering, eating a delicious meatball hoagie. But now I'm here. And I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to be in the World War III match, and I'm going to win it, because I've got the largest arms in the business, and I've got more talent in my pinky than any of these damn wrestlers have in this entire company. Now, as far as what this advantage is, Hulk and Kevin, I don't really know, but what I do know is I want to fight. So how about you two fight Scott Steiner right now?" And Hogan and Nash look at each other, and all three men are wearing sunglasses, so they ain't messing around. And Hogan and Nash go, Scott, listen, brother, you don't want to fight Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash, all right? For one, you don't want to do that to your career. You're our friend, Scott, and we wouldn't want to do something that could hurt you. Scott Steiner's like, "Well, you're my friend. You don't want to hurt me. Just a few weeks ago, Kevin Nash got all in six-pack where he beat me up backstage." "Oh, wait, I can't say that. It's kayfabe." He takes off his sunglasses. "Scott Steiner wants to fight, and Scott Steiner's going to get a fight." And Kevin's like, "You know what, Scott? You know what? If you are still upset over something that didn't happen backstage because I hate Scott Hall," and he looks at him like,
What?
"Kayfabe, brother." "And we didn't beat you up, but if you're just convinced that it happened and you want to fight, then how about I fight you at World War III? I need to warm up before the match anyway, before the big World War III match anyway, and beating you would be a good warm-up." Scott's like, "How about I fight you right now?" And punches him right in the face.
Christ.
And Kevin Nash and Hogan just get out of the ring. And Hogan's like, "You know what, Scott? You're just like Sylvester Stallone. You're a hothead who thinks he knows what he's talking about in this business. So how about this? You can take on Kevin Nash at the pay-per-view, but next week you'll find a partner and you're gonna take on Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash, brother.
Ooh.
So a big tag team match set up for next week. What do you think of the Steiner Shoots, brother?
I'm thinking. I'm happy for him. I don't like his language that he uses.
That's just Steiner shooting.
I know, but I'm glad he's in the main event. He's in the main event limelight where he should be.
Right? Yes, he should be. Speaking of people who should be in the main event limelight, we go backstage and Goldberg is like just ripping apart the backstage area. He's like, "Where's Jericho? Where is he? Where's Chris?" And some road agents are like, "Hey, Goldberg, chill out." And he's like, fucking punches one. "Where is Chris Jericho?" And so more people try to like calm him down. And then you hear, "Hey, Goldberg!" And you turn around and Jericho is driving a forklift, brother, and he slams it into Goldberg. And then Goldberg is tied down into the forklift, and Jericho gets out and just starts beating him up. He says, "This is gonna be you in 2 weeks, Goldberg!" Just starts hitting him. "This is you!" And then he takes the television title that Goldberg was carrying and says, "This is my title, Goldberg!"
Goldberg!
Hits him with the title. And then he says, "This was a Falls Count Anywhere match, and I won! I am 3-0 against Goldberg!" And then he laughs and runs away.
Runs away. All right, man. Oh, wow.
And this brings us to our main event. And it was an exceptional match. Apparently, Savage and Elizabeth are still.
Shit. My bad. Don't read that. Let's just go to work.
It was supposed to say Ric Flair or Elizabeth and Sting have great chemistry because they do. And then the exceptional match: Sting, Bret Hart, and Stevie Ray defeated Scott Hall, Ric Flair, and Randy Savage when Sting defeats Ric Flair by submission. And when Sting made Ric Flair tap out, you could see for a moment there was a look in Ric Flair's eyes where he's like, "What?" And Mike Tenay said, over commentary, if this happens next week, Ric Flair's gone from WCW. So, Ric Flair, he gets up, and he sells the submission, but eventually he gets up and he just walks to the arena. He just walks out. So Stevie Ray laughs, and the Nation are laughing, and they leave. Scott Hall and Bret Hart, they have a kerfuffle and they brawl to the back. But it doesn't matter because Sting celebrates in the ring and Randy Savage just loses it. He gets up, he starts pushing through members of the Nation to get to Sting. And he starts just brawling with Sting. There's a huge brawl. The Nations are trying to break it up. Randy Savage isn't having it. He's just running through it. Sting eventually weasels his way out, and he gets down the ramp. And then Randy Savage cuts his promo. "Sting! Sting! Sting! You think you can run from the madness? The madness, brother, is just starting. The madness is going to catch up to you, Sting. The madness is going to find you, and the madness is going to give you all of the pain and suffering that you have caused the Macho Man, and I am just going to laugh and laugh and laugh." And he says, "Sting, I can't wait till the pay-per-view because I am going to beat you down and make you wish you never fucked with Randy Savage. Oh, yeah."
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah, he's short and sweet today.
Damn good Nitro, I think. Yep, 87.
I think it should be. 87 did better than your show this week.
Are we not going to talk about Stevie Ray being in the main?
Stevie, well, listen, all right. With me sending Booker T to rehab, I had to move some things around.
Yeah, you did. All right, that was episode 110. Leave a like, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 250. I just checked. We're not 12 away.
Oh, man, nice.
Nice. And we will see you for episode 111, the Go Home to Monday Night Raw. Where, spoiler alert, something big will happen. You'll just have to tune in and watch.
You're gonna have to just start to be an invader and invade these next couple episodes and really see what happens.
How about we stop using puns to spoil the next? All right, we'll see you for episode 110. And remember, fuck Cody Rhodes.